Here's what India's agenda was for the Maldives: improving the airport on Gan Island. Instead, the missteps of the Maldivian president Mohamed Moizu have put on the line the goodwill shared by the two sides. Moizu has broken diplomatic traditions. He has let young ministers make hateful remarks on India, and the result threatens to burn the Maldives. It threatens to put online the interests of ordinary Maldivians. Also put online their means of livelihood, their healthcare. Earlier this evening, we got information that India will be building an airport in the Minicoy Islands. Minicoy is the southernmost point of Lakshadweep. The new airport, in fact, will help bring in more tourists to the Indian island. Tourists, many of whom could be picking Lakshadweep over the Maldives. Now, here's a question for you. Will the Indian heat burn the Maldives government? Well, Indian heat can burn the government of Maldives. It can create a situation where the people of the Maldives rise against their government, against their president, Mohamed Moizu. Tell me one thing. What is it that the people of the Maldives really care about? Do they care about appeasing the Chinese Communist Party? Or do they care about jobs, their salaries, healthcare, education of their children? You have your answer, and it is here, in the foundational issues that India can burn the Maldives. Let me explain this. Starting off with the economy. You see, the economy of the Maldives is driven by tourism. Tourism is also the largest foreign exchange earner. In fact, it contributes around 23% of the GDP. And India has been the Maldives' largest tourism market for the last 2 years now. And I have some data from the Maldivian Ministry of Tourism. Indians made up the largest number of foreign tourists in the year 2023. How many Indians went to the Maldives in the year 2023? Over 206,000. India sent more tourists to the Maldives than Russia did, or good friend China, or the UK or Germany for that matter. Indian tourists made up 11.2% of the total foreign visitors. And this number was supposed to go up this year, by the way. Just have a look at the trend. Indian tourists in the Maldives have nearly doubled in 5 years. Also, just do an online search. Before the row with the Maldives started, so many India-based tour operators were offering curated trips to the Maldives. They were offering diving experiences, sailing experiences, snorkeling trips, staycations, budget trips to the local islands. But now, tour operators are boycotting the Maldives. The Indian travel portal EaseMyTrip has already joined the campaign to boycott the Maldives. It's not taking any flight booking or hotel reservations for the Maldives. The suspension is indefinite. At least that is what the portal's co-founder has said. We are talking about India's second largest online travel booking platform boycotting the Maldives. This portal has a 22% market share. The question is, what if the others follow suit? What if others also join the boycott Maldives movement? Mali's economy will burn. The government will burn. And Moizu knows this. He is gearing up for the confrontation. Moizu is asking China to intensify efforts to send more tourists to the Maldives. But here's a question now. Can the Chinese really make up for the deficit created by a possible boycott by Indian tourists? How many Chinese tourists are willing to travel to the Maldives' luxury resorts? There is an economic slowdown at home in China. Chinese tourists are restricting their travel. So Moizu's appeal is unlikely to translate into real numbers. But I will tell you what will. The campaign of Indian influencers and celebrities. They have played a major role in promoting the Maldives. Their vacation photographs, their villa tours would nudge Indians to book their holiday, to experience a floating breakfast, or to wake up in a sea villa. Some of these celebrities are now asking their followers to visit Indian islands instead. And the impact is visible. As per one Indian travel site, the inquiries for Lakshadweep have gone up over 3,400%. The hashtag Explore Indian Islands. What if it continues to gather steam? Which, trust me, it will. What if more celebrities join the campaign? What if more travel operators join the campaign? Many Indian tourists say they have voluntarily cancelled their Maldives booking. What if more tourists follow suit? Who will face the burn? The Maldives. And it will not just be the tourism sector. That will be scorched. After tourism, the next big contributor to the Maldives economy is transportation and communication. Both these sectors are closely linked to tourism and both stand to be burnt. Just tell me one thing. Who will board the fancy seaplanes if the tourists don't arrive? What happens to domestic airlines if the number of tourists decline? In the year 2022, India entered an open sky agreement with the Maldives. And under this, Maldivian airlines were given the right to fly in and out of India without the Indian government's interference in commercial decisions like routes, the capacity or the pricing. As I speak, Maldives' flag carrier, Maldivian, flies to Bengaluru, Cochin, Thiruvananthapuram. In fact, India is the only international destination this carrier flies, apart from Bangladesh. What if Indians stopped booking this plane? Let's just talk about jobs now. As per the Maldives Bureau of Statistics, tourist resorts alone employ nearly 45,000 workers. 47% of them are locals. The number is from 2019. And with new properties coming up almost every second month, the numbers would definitely have gone up. What happens to these workers when the footfall in these resorts falls? Tourism and tourism-related industries account for 70% of the jobs in the Maldives. And this section will feel the burn when Indian tourists stop coming to the Maldives. You see, the Maldives is barely 70 nautical miles from India's Minicoy Islands and some 300 nautical miles from India's west coast. Which is why, in many cases of medical emergency, patients from the Maldives are rushed to India. Where will they go if India shuts its doors? China? To go from Male to Beijing, a flight takes 7 hours 45 minutes. Male to New Delhi is less than 4 hours. Male to Mumbai, less than 3 hours. Friendship with India helps the Maldives. Friendship with India helps the people of the Maldives. If India shuts its doors, if India applies political heat on the Maldives, the people of the Maldives will suffer. The Maldives already suffers from a crunch of good human capital, and over the years, India has been helping Mali develop human resources in the Maldives. Maldivian youths come to India for higher education. India offers around 40 Maldivian students scholarships every year under ICCR or the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. Since the year 2012, in fact, at least 165 Maldivian students have benefited from this scholarship. Every year, 10 seats are reserved for Maldivian students under India's Science and Research Fellowship Program. Scholarships are also offered under SARC seats. That's not all. Indian teachers teach senior classes in the Maldives. 25% senior teachers in the Maldives are from India. 25% of doctors are Indians. India is integral to Maldives' security. And this is not only because of territorial proximity, by the way, but also because of India's benevolence. India, after all, provides the largest number of training opportunities for the MNDF, or the Maldivian National Defence Force. India has trained over 1,500 MDNF trainees over the last 10 years. We meet 70% of the Maldives' defence training requirements, and this is just the beginning. India has gifted defence hardware to the Maldives, helped construct Maldives' new Ministry of Defence headquarters. India has provided utility vehicles to the Maldives, also ships. India has historically come to the Maldives' rescue whenever it was in a soup. There was a coup attempt in the Maldives in the year 1988. India assisted the Maldives. Cut to the year 2004. The Indian Ocean tsunami devastated the Maldives. It also hit India, but India was the first country to send help to the Maldives. In the year 2014, there was a water crisis in Mali. India sent water to the Maldives. In the year 2020, for that matter, India sent 30,000 doses of measles vaccine to prevent an outbreak in the Maldives. But the president of the Maldives thinks it's a good idea to peddle anti-India sentiments, to encourage anti-India hate, and to break diplomatic traditions because his Chinese friends want him to do so. Well, President Mohammad Moizu should remember, India's political heat can burn his government in the Maldives. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.